Hi, my name is Saul Motoya from Hatariwater. This time we are going to do a quick tutorial about how to install MODFLOW with Model Muse on Windows. No, so this is a quite simple tutorial that you might need to deploy the the complete setup of this software. So the first step, we go to the website of MODFLOW. So we just put it on our search engine. So let's say Google. And then here we put MODFLOW with Model Muse. And what is Model Muse? Model Muse is a graphical user interface that actually is a pre-processing and post-processing software for MODFLOW. So Model Muse is just what you see, while MODFLOW is the engine that is used to model um, uh, groundwater flow. So we have Model Muse on here. Please check that we need it on this repository. There is water that is actually the website of the Geological Service of the United States, and this is actually the official website. If you can see, it's not very fancy. I mean, and this is open source software, so maybe you can get the feeling that you are not dealing with the right repository. Maybe that this website is outdated, but it's not outdated. Is in fact the website where you download the software. So for most modelers, we use I don't know. Yep. We use the 64 operating systems because in my experience the 32 bytes operating systems are not giving. We use sometimes in some courses some people bring Windows on 32 bits operating with 32 bits, and it's not working properly. So for 64 bits is better, is a better product, it's a better software. The last version is 3.6.3, that is from last October. Model Muse is in fact changing and having more tools, better tools. They are quickly fixing their bugs and so on. So it's, I mean, for a groundwater modeler, you you change your version maybe 2 or 3 times per year. So that's, we are used to get to the same websites many times. So, and this is a nice guy that's called Richard Winston. He is actually the person that give you um, some feedback or some information uh, about the software. So, um, well, and then you can, I mean, if you are new with MODFLOW or Model Muse, it's better to read the paper, this one. Okay, so we download it. It actually waits only 32 megs, and then we wait. I have already installed it, and every time that I run this, it's kind of uh, installed over the version that I have. Yeah, if you have a model in an older version, it can be opened with a newer version of Model Muse. But if you have a, a model with a new version, it can be opened with another version of Model Muse, the model. But there is no problem. You just need to update the software, and then you can open any model. Okay, so I have already installed, and this it will ask me to say that it's okay. I say run, and then it will ask me for some permissions. It's okay. And then next. Use just this default um, address, and yep, I want to have it on my start menu folder. and an icon installed. And it says that I have already opened, so I will close it. Yep, why not? For the Linux users, maybe you might need to use Wine HQ if you are dealing with Ubuntu to install it. I have tried and it's working pretty well, but some tools and the model runs, but some features of if you want to put color to polygons are not available if you're dealing with Linux, so that's why I do it on Windows. So I just next, and then I launch it, and it says this. In this tutorial, we have already installed MODFLOW with MODEL MUSE. We search for the website, we have already installed, and then we are going to give a brief introduction. This is not actually a tutorial of the graphical user interface, but it's mostly a tutorial of how to install the whole MODFLOW with MODEL MUSE. No? So I mean a right installation of the software. So we are going to say we want a new MODFLOW model. You can MODEL MUSE it actually do not works only with MODFLOW, but also with FAST. That is a model for transport and reaction that is FreakC plus and groundwater model that is actually not MODFLOW. And there is another that is called Sutra. Sutra is a model that works on finite elements while MODFLOW works on finite difference. So that's the main. Sutra and FAST are Sutra is a later coming on this software, so it's quite new. In my experience, I have not done any work with Sutra, but seems very interesting. Okay, so we need if you have, I have already a model going, so I have it here. But if you would like to do a new MODFLOW model, I mean, the list of your other models will appear in this part, but here we are going to create one, and you specify the number of columns, the number of rows, the number of layers, and here you specify which aquifers. Like I say, I do, my mother language is Spanish, so I always put my acuífero superior, let's say acuífero medio, yeah, and then here I have acuífero inferior. Okay, so just to put some names and then say finish. We wait. Okay, and then here we have the user interfaces. Maybe I will just put it here. Okay, I will explain you something quickly. Here we have the aerial view. So this is a view from the top, and this one is a cross section from this blue line. So I mean, with this option, I can put another, and I will have a cross section of this part. Okay, and then here I have a cross section of this part. So of the green line. So this is the aerial view, a cross section, and this one is an isometric view that it comes already deployed on from the beginning, so you don't have to. It has limited options. I suggest that if you want some more powerful visualization, you do another software that is called Model Viewer. But just to represent, or to, if you want to see how that your model is being done on the right way, this is very powerful. Okay, so, and these are some tools to open, save. This green line, this green arrow is to run the model. This is to open the the results. This is to undo, redo. To cut, copy and paste, you can cut, copy and paste objects. So I don't know, maybe, I mean, if you're more interested in the basics, just write as commentaries to this video, because I can talk about this topic about the objects, because right now Model Muse from 2009 is working with object, while the latest with the older, the former MODFLOW just deal with the parameter on the cell. It's quite different. I can explain in another video. And then you can measure with this is an arrow. You can select an object. Yep, I can do a video object if you want. You can select a vertex. You can select by lasso. You can delete segments, you can put more vertex, and so on. You can do, this is to see how many objects do you have, and this is the window zoom in, zoom out, and so on. Well, this tutorial was just to install MODFLOW, so we're going to do it like here, and then here we have a model, model, we have program locations. Yeah? If you see, once again, model, program locations. If you see, I have like all of my options are already in red. That's what does it mean that they are missing? Because if they were on my computer, they were in white. For example, what is missing is MODFLOW 2005. So I don't have MODFLOW 2005. What I am going to do is just to, I think I can do double click here. Yep. And it goes to my browser, and I say, well, I need the MODFLOW 2005 version 1.11 that actually is not from 2005, but is from 2013 with source code. Yep, why not? And then I download it. I look for them. Then I just see Control C. I go MODFLOW by default creates this VRD app, so it's Water Resources Department applications, I guess. So just do this if you have it. I think if you install MODFLOW, you have it this by default. But if you don't have it, just create this on capital letters. So then just go here, just paste this, and then extract here, and then the zip file, you can delete it because you don't need it anymore. So you have VRD app in this, with this, capital letters, just 6 letters, and then you have this you have this folder, and from here I just, if you see VRD app, so I just link it. So maybe I will do the whole step. C VRD app, MODFLOW, bin, because the executables are in bin, and then I use just MF 2005. Muy bien. Oh, all right. So I have MODFLOW 2005. Then I'm not going to install all of them because there are some, for example, there are many packages that maybe I won't need it all. So there is MODFLOW 2005, there is MODFLOW LGR. LGR is local grid refinement. That is a model that is a version of MODFLOW that allows you to do local refinements. I don't use it very often. This is another version of MODFLOW 2005. I use this a lot. MODFLOW NWT. This type of this solver is actually I deal with Indian bases, and Indian bases have a quite challenging geometry, the aquifers. So because you have like difference on elevation of around 2,000 meters, something like that. And if you deal with the default package of MODFLOW, you don't get convergences. Your model doesn't run, you get a lot of crash and so on. So I use MODFLOW NWT. The Newton formulation is great. I mean, it's my choice by default. Anytime that I have to deal with Indian basins on fractured rocks, I use NWT. So I just click it here, MODFLOW NWT. The last version is of 2014 for Windows. I downloaded it, so it's only 19 megs. It's downloading, and maybe I will wait. Well, let's see. CFP. I'm not going to learn it now, but this is actually the version of MODFLOW that allows you to model karst, or like to model discontinuities on the porous media, where you have where flow is not laminar but flow is turbulent. So it's very interesting, this type. And actually, if CFP is in version 2, I am dealing with some karst modeling, and I use it, or I'm going to use it. MODFLOW one word hydrological model is another type of modeling that couples the hydrological part. It has a better coupling of the hydrological part. It's used mostly when you have some irrigation system. I have done some, I read it a bit of that. There is a video from Rich and Wilson from this MODFLOW. Is most on my humble opinion, is a way of MODFLOW on dealing with the surface and the subsurface flow. So if you are interested with this, you can download it. In this tutorial, we are not going to perform. So I have already downloaded. I go to my folder, and I have MODFLOW NWT, Control C. I paste it on my, I paste it here. I extract here, and I can get rid of this because I don't need it anymore. And I go here and I just link it. Okay, I will do the whole process. Maybe if you see P W, and then here being, and then I'm dealing with 64, so I will need it 64. Hey, what happened? 64, open. Funny. It actually, let's see, I will close and then I will open again program locations. See, and okay, maybe sometimes it changes automatically of color, and this time it didn't change, but when I open again, it's there. So no, don't worry, it's already stopped. So what is next? What I'm going to install next is ModPath, ZONEBUDGET, and M3DMS. So these are MODELMUSE is for automatic parameter estimation. I'm not going to use it now. And then these are the links for your text editor. I use Notepad. because it's better. Sometimes the output of MODFLOW, the text files are huge and the WordPad cannot deal with that. Okay, so I go to ModPad. I will do these three processes maybe on parallel just to save the length of this tutorial. So I just go to ModPad. ModPad is already in version 6, so I can do tutorials on this as well. So we got download ModPad version 6, and then we have, it's already downloaded. Some budget is to do water balance, and then I just, this is an executable, so you don't have to do this of decompressing and so on. And then you have M3, MT3D MS. So MT3D MS is multi-transport 3D multi-species, and it's actually the, I suggest to do to change the name because it's not very user friendly, but it's the package of MODFLOW to do mass transport or contaminant, or for modeling contaminant plumes. So this is a MODFLOW package that is really powerful in doing like the concentration dispersion from a contaminant source. I mean, if you are dealing with a tailings, with a tailings storage facility, or you are dealing with a gas station that is leaking some contaminants, and it's multi-species because you can assess many species, and then it has some features on like decay or like dispersion, advection, decay, some chemical reaction of the first type, and so it's um is we can do more tutorials on this. Okay, so I download both. I will run MT3MS. Yep. Now some budget has a executable, and by default it goes as well to the same. So I just put on zip, so, and it's already on zip. And then I have on my, on here I have I just go to the bottom and then ModPad, and where was the other one that I need? Okay, sorry. Okay, here we have a problem. MT3MS is not from the USGS, it's from another, from the University of Alabama, and then we pick the MT3DMS 5.3. So it's unloaded, and it has an executable, so it's, and the only one that we will be missing from as a compressed file is ModPad on version 6. ModPad on version 6, Control C. And then here we have VRDFP, we paste it, and then we extract here, and then we don't need this anymore, so and then I have it here, and I will link it, so I will see VRDFP, and then ModPad being, and we are dealing with 64. My computer is on 64, so this is, yep. So, and some budget was an executable, so it's already done. ModPad we have downloaded, decompressed it, and changed it into our folder, so it's already here. And MT3DMS is finishing. Okay, so we run the executable, run. It is a self-extractor, so it put it on C, but no, we don't need it on C, we need it on C VRDFP. Here we need it. Okay, so put it on C. So let's say what it has unzipped. Oh no, we don't need it this way, so I'm going to delete it because it's not in the structure that we have already installed the other ones. I suggest this because I want all the package or all the file from the package on the same side, on the same part, on the same. So we just for this time we type MT3D MS. Wait a minute, a little bit. My nephew. So we put 3D here. MT3D MS. So let's see. It has already unzipped. Okay, so if we link it here, C P MT3D bin, and then we select MT3D MS5P. Okay, so okay, this is the end of this tutorial. So we have done a right installation. From this you can run your models, from this you can select all the package, and from this you can do your numerical models. We want to do some tutorials on contaminant transport or tutorials on some model features and so on. So if you like this video, follow this channel, get your subscriptions, follow us by hatariwater.tumblr.com, and nice to have brought this to you, and have a nice day.